in the...
I have a picture on my phone I could show you. The queen's probably about, I don't know, a quarter size bigger.
Okay.
They're probably about like that big.
Okay.
But they look a little bit different. You can tell, once you've been doing beekeeping for a while, you can tell how to look for it, because the thorax on the worker bees is fuzzy, and the queen bee, it's all bald.
Oh.
So that's one way you can tell. And her abdomen is what's the longest part. It's okay. the back part is longer than the worker bees. It takes a little bit of practice, you know. They call it queen spotting, where you're like looking at all these bees and it's like trying to find one, you know, that is just a little bit bigger than the other ones with the bald back, you know. I mean, I can do it. It's just I'd rather them just
do it. Yeah.
Go by themselves, and it's sometimes it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Like, and especially when they're in a spot like this. Normally when I do swarms, they're in trees, and what I'll do when they're in tree is I'll just take the branch and I'll open up that box and I'll just boom, and because of the weight, you know, there are actually 2 to 3 pounds of bees there. So when you hit the branch, usually all the bees go in the box, and most likely the queen's in there. I covered up, and yeah, that's for the most part. I'm trying to figure out if they're going in there. Yeah, they're going in. They'll do what's called a march. Once they figure out that they want to go in there, they'll send out that pheromone, and they'll all like start migrating on the box. It's crazy to watch, you know. But yeah, it looks like, I bet she could be somewhere right buried in this little thing right here. I'm wondering if I can cut that off. My smoke went out. I wonder where that goes. What branch that is. I might be able to cut that off and just dump them in the box. Just trying to figure out what branch that is. Okay, there's a piece of grass right there too.
Whatever it is, it's not a very big branch. It's just a...
No. I just don't want them to fall off.
Take that lid off.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's usually what I try to do when they're, you know, like when they're on a branch or whatever. The more I can put in there, even if the queen's not there. Oh, is that her? No. Usually when they're in a swarm like this, it's real hard to find. We have to keep scraping them off little by little until you can, yeah. Yeah, she could still be right down in here somewhere. I kind of want to hang around and see if they start doing the march, because it's pretty cool to watch when they when they do that. I don't know if you can tell the pitch, the hum, the pitch since I first got here, it's gone way up. Remember when I got here, it was kind of quiet. Now they're all excited. Yep. So that's another way you can tell that something's going on by the pitch. They're starting to send off. They're starting to send off pheromones right here. See what that one's doing right there?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they flap their wings and that's how they basically talk to each other, is by pheromones. Yeah.
So then if the queen was to die, all these bees would just scatter?
No. A lot of times what happens is, okay, so if the queen died in a swarm, then they won't make it. But if they are in a hive and they have eggs, then if because the queen only lives for maybe 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
And so what the honeybees do, and what happened here, this is how they spread, is once they get too many numbers for their space that they're in, they make a new queen. The new queen stays behind. The old queen leaves with half the hive into a swarm.
Oh,
and they look for a new place to go.
Oh.
So that's how they multiply, basically, over time. And so
so this is the old queen.
Yep.
From a hive.
From a hive.
Oh, okay.
Probably, you know, I've done actually a few hives in the area because it's got a lot of farmland, and you know, people keep bees and stuff. And I've probably captured, I don't know, 3 or 4 swarms and 2 hives over the years. I have a customer that lives right on Weiser Lake Road, and like I think I've been there 3 years in a row. He had bees that keep going into this one retaining wall by his barn.
Oh.
I have to take the plywood off and like cut out the honeycomb and all that. And that one, you have to find the queen on those ones because they won't leave their normal nesting spot unless you find a queen. But usually what you do there is you cut out the comb, and then those frames that are in there, you rubber band it in so that they have their brood. And what'll happen is if the queen dies, the worker bees are the ones that decide what each egg turns out to be. All the queen does is lay eggs. That's all she does. Okay. She's not the boss. Right. The worker bees are the boss.
Sure.
And so what'll happen is once they realize a queen is getting weak, they'll actually kill her.
Oh.
And and then make a new queen. So the way they decide, you know, which egg is going to be a queen is there's this stuff they make called royal jelly. It's a special mixture. All bees get it the first 5 days, but queens get it throughout the whole time that they're being fed as a larvae. Okay. Yeah. So so basically, these bees are starting to go all the way in there. It looks like. Some of them are coming out. But anyways, that's how they're made. Worker bees can lay eggs, but they're unfertile, and so they're only males. They're only drones, and they can't mate. So yeah. So if a hive loses a queen and they don't have any eggs, then or larvae, then it becomes what's called a queenless hive, and you end up getting a bunch of drones until all the worker bees die off because they're all female, and the drones are only used for mating. Okay. That's their only purpose. Yep. They get taken care of their whole lives without having to do any work, and then they have sex and then die.
That isn't Ty on Weiser Lake Road, is it?
What's that?
Ty Neville?
No, it's customer Jack Pereira. Okay. It's right on the curve where it turns into northwest.
Oh, okay.
He lives right there, and there's a couple of I think raspberry farms nearby there. Right. that have
it's on one of those corners that Ty lives, and he's got a barn back there.
Oh yeah.
He's got the berry fields. And
yep.
That's who I called last night, and then he gave me a couple numbers. Try this guy, try this guy. I don't know if yours was one of those or one that I found on the internet. It's like.
I don't know if you can see the queen in there. I'm going to put her in here, and in a short period of time they'll all come in. All right. Cool.
Huh. Yeah, that's she's not much Bigger, just a little.
Just a little bit bigger.
But yeah, once you see it, then
Yep.
it's obvious.
And she's usually like more golden. She doesn't have the stripes. You know, if you notice, she was more solid orange.
Yep.
And then the bald thorax, that's just the telltale.
Yeah.
That's what I always look for, is the bald thorax.
Yeah, you can't tell until she comes out and walks across,
Yep.
and then it's.
Yep, she was right down there. It was worth spending the few extra minutes. It just makes me feel more secure as far as knowing that she's in there now.
Right.
Because now, in a short period of time, these bees will all be in there.
Yeah. So is that if they all went in there, but she didn't go in there yet, and you took the box away, would she start a whole nother?
They wouldn't leave her behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They stick with her.
Okay.
That's why there's still a bunch of them outside, is because she hadn't gone in yet.
All right.
But even though the workers are like, oh, this is a good spot, she eventually would have gone in there on her own. She would have followed them in there. That's normally what happens, is the workers all come and say, hey, look, we found a good spot, and then eventually the queen will follow the workers. But yeah, cool. So I'll probably be back tonight sometime.
Yeah.
Usually around dusk.
Okay.
You know, they'll all be in there. I can't haul them off in the daytime because they're usually flying around. You know, once the evening comes, they'll all be inside, and then I just cover up the opening and put a strap around it and haul them away to their new home.
Sounds good.
But cool.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow. I get up at 5.
There's that
so-
for you. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have to be up or anything. I mean, I'll just pull up if that's okay, and
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll come haul them off for you.
Back right down there. I'll leave the fence down for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I almost forgot my hive tool. All right, Andy.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man.